Hey there everybody, my name is Shadow Phoenix. Welcome back to episode 6 of my Dark Souls playthrough. My ranger character, as I call her. And we are back in the Undead Settlement. At the very beginning, here at the what I call the Crossroads Tree. It's the ones with all the corpses hanging from it. There's the priest that's right underneath of it. Now in the last episode, we went straight, and as soon as we came out, and across the bridge. And went that direction. In this episode, we're going to take a slightly different approach. We're going to head over to the left. Now, there are two ways to go. There's an archway to the left of this doorway that I just came in. But what we're going to do is we're going to take out these little pains in the butts right here. I don't know what these little guys are called, but they are quick, they're tiny, and they're easy to miss when you're trying to hit them with arrows. Unless they're standing still. But even then, they seem to have a tendency to dodge quite a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these guys out, and we're going to jump down in that hole right there. Assuming I can hit them. Now, like I kind of explained in the last episode, I could be using a sword here, but at this point in the game, it's still early, and I was still trying to use the bow and arrow as much as I possibly could. I've since learned my lesson on that, and I now use... Well, I actually got the swords I've been kind of trying to get to at this point, which I won't talk too much about. But so I've got some decent swords now, and I am trying to just make it through the levels the best I can. I still like to use the bow just because it's my favorite weapon, and I use it quite a bit. But I will use the swords when I need to. So let's hop down in this hole here. Now... if you go, first you got to take out this guy. This guy's, he's big. He's a little powerful too, so you got to take him out as fast as possible. If you are like me and you are trying to go through with a bow, go for headshots. They do more damage. You got to be careful. This guy's a heavy hitter. Now back behind me, there is, I believe, a place that you can go into that's got a... yeah, I'm fairly certain. There's a pot back that way that has some healer elixir in it. It's like a soup that can heal you completely. And it's just back that way. Now those corpses in the cages, those are really, really easy to kill with a bow. They seem to take more damage from piercing damage than they do with slashing damage or anything like that. Using a sword doesn't seem to work too well on them. But I do like to use my bows, and since that works very well on them. Now in this area, you got a bunch of these scarecrow guys, as I call them, and you got a priest up there at the top too. It's trying to hit you. I don't really think that she can hit you from here, though. It has a distance on it. But now I've been this direction once before. I made it quite far, and then ended up getting killed by a NPC character that comes in. Made a mistake of trying to kill him with a bow, and he casts Greater Healing, which is the spell that... I think it's called Greater Healing. But basically it puts like an area up, kind of a radius, kind of a glowing area that he can get into and keep healing himself. So he kept doing that, so the more damage I did to him, he just kept healing, and didn't really work. So I ended up getting killed. So that's why in the last episode I went a different direction. But now we're going this way because I know we're kind of where I'm going to a point, and we're going to try to get through this. Gotta watch in here. There's another one of these little imps. We're gonna call them imps. This is also a good place to snipe this woman from too. If you get just the right angle, I don't think she can hit you. She tries though, and since I wasn't sure if it would hit me or not, I still kind of dodged inside the door, but it was a great place to hit her from. I am fairly certain the magic that will hit that wall before it hits you, if you are at the right angle. There may be some stuff down here. I can't remember if there was anything to pick up or not. This is a shortcut, though. You can, or not this one. Once you get around, you can see the bonfire right there. So all I have to do is just get to that bonfire to save at this position. So if you go past this building right here, and then up on your right, you can drop down to it instead of having to go through this next archway there. Yeah, you can go down that way and down some stairs, or you can go this way. So now I did something really stupid here. I see a crystal lizard. I want that crystal lizard. I thought, alright, all I gotta do is just roll over to that. I can just drop down to that platform right there and then drop down on the lizard. I screw up. Don't quite hit the platform. Worst thing about it was, didn't even get the lizard. Alright, and this is the point where you get invaded. Now notice I only have 3 flasks left. That's all I've got. I'm being invaded by an NPC invader that is a pain to kill. He really is. And so this is going to be a tough fight. At this point, I could save, which I did. Well, actually, I think I just grabbed the bonfire. I didn't actually save at the bonfire. But I did pick up the bonfire anyway. This way, if I get killed, I will start back at least here. So this should be a good fight. I'm not the best at, like, multiplayer and stuff in this game. And these NPCs are pretty much just like fighting it multiplayer. Now watch this. I almost get him right there. One more push. Now, oh, why did he not fall off? He lives. I swear this guy is like the Highlander. And that's that spell I was telling you about earlier. If he gets inside that, he can heal himself instantly. Well, not instantly, but pretty quick. I knew I had to try to take as much damage to him as I possibly could. Still can't believe I didn't knock him off that. And you get a vertebrae shackle for killing him, which will come in handy later on. Alright, so let's go ahead and we are going to save and come back to this. So crystal lizards won't reappear if you just save at a bonfire. If you fast travel and then come back, they will actually come back. I didn't know that this time, so I was still trying to find the crystal lizard. Now, if you're a low level, this guy can kill you pretty quick. He's another tank. And he also has an extremely long reach as well. thing, you got that row shot. If you're using a short bow or the composite bow, then those do have that ability, which lets you row and then get a shot off if you time it just right. This bow also has rapid fire, which I rarely ever use. It's not that good. You get a lot of shots off, but you don't do enough damage to really make it worthwhile. The row shot also does less damage than a normal shot does, but it's still just, it's handy because if you're rolling to get out of the way, you can just get a shot off right off the bat. Now, this is the furthest I've been at this point. Unbeknownst to me, there's a bit of a surprise up here. Is a ogre, I want to say, or I don't think it's a giant, because giants in this game have a very particular look to them. I think it's an ogre or a cyclops that is at the top of this tower up there. Right there. You can see him kind of right there. I'm right on him. And he has a great bow that is larger than you. These things, and it strikes with like the quality of a nuclear attack. In fact, I almost get killed right here. For some odd reason, I did not lock onto that, and I ended up wasting that opportunity there. I'll end up taking way too much time to kill this thing. Now, there are a ton of items out there that you may want to try to go out and get. And I know it is exactly... It's really hard to resist. It's so tempting. But trust me, wait. Do not try to get those now. I tried it. Didn't really work out well for me. And that is how you do that correctly. Which grants you the Great Scythe. If the Great Scythe is the weapon you are looking for in this game, this is where you get it at. I went through the original Dark Souls as a Reaper type character, and I used the Scythe quite a bit. It was really, really a good weapon in Dark Souls 1. I tried it slightly in Dark Souls 2, but I heard it was nerfed. It wasn't really as good as it was in Dark Souls 1. There were better weapons to be had in Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3, I don't know. Now this is where I make the mistake of thinking I can go out there and grab something. Don't do it. Alright, this is the boss chamber. To your left, that is the Rotted Greatwood. I think it's his name. I'm not really up on my Dark Souls lore and everything, and know the bosses and everything by name, but yeah. If you open this door, it does take you out to a different area. And it can make getting back here maybe slightly easier, just from a different point. Personally, though, if it was me, I wouldn't take this route. I would come in the way I just came. See, now I picked a fight that I didn't know was going to be a hard fight. And it ended up being a fight that I couldn't win. Because this priest or priestess, she doesn't just use her spells. I don't know if it's a woman or a man. I'm gonna say it's a woman. We're gonna call her Big Bertha. So Big Bertha actually uses more than just spells. She uses that hammer really, really well and can kill you in 2 hits with it. And she can swing that thing fast too. She's very quick for being for a big woman. She's quick, basically. Alright, so at this point, I've made my way back here. I've killed everything in this area. There are a couple of dogs. There's the priestess, and then there's a couple of the scarecrow guys. Now, straight ahead and to your right, that takes you down into like a sewer system. There's some rats and stuff down in there. You can also go that direction and unlock a door, but I don't do that yet. Or do I? Something I wasn't realizing was going to happen was they can throw those. You also notice I'm pretty much just about out of arrows here too. And Goliath gets brought down by a knife. Unfortunately, there's at least 2 more on the other side. Only 1 more you have to deal with, though. The one on the right won't really attack you unless you attack it first. Or get close enough. But unless you're planning on running through the game, this was one you are going to have to fight. Oh. I think it's kind of funny when you run out of arrows and you reach and they're like, oh crap, I'm out of arrows. They did a good job on the animations on this game. Yeah, you can just avoid that guy over there. There is some items up behind this hut on my left right there, but I don't believe it was really worthwhile.
Another all you faceless undead, behaving as if you deserve respect. No matter. Heed my words. If you've any sense, you go find a coffin to huddle up inside. You, here, in this land of hollows. You're like a frail maid, if like the others, you're fool enough to play the champion. Then go on ahead. Traipse right past the abandoned church. You'll face death. And it won't be pretty. Enough death to leave you broken. Time after time.
Oh, this guy knows his Cyndi Lauper.
If like the others, you'll go on ahead. If like, then go on ahead. Hopeless. The whole lot of you. Like little moths flittering towards a flame.
I'm still impressed by the opening of the door animations in this game. I'm actually impressed with this whole game. Dark Souls 3 is probably my favorite of the series so far. And this is the point where I'm like, oh crap. Is he friend? Oh, I don't know. And then I completely am not remembering that this guy is actually from Dark Souls 1.
Oh, pardon me. I am Siegwart of Katarina. To be honest, I'm in a bit of a... Have you ever walked near a white birch only to be struck by a great arrow? Well, if I'm not mistaken, they come from this tower. Whoever it is, I'm sure I can talk some sense into them. But I have to find a way up. And that's just the trouble. This lift only goes down, you see, and... Well, that...
Kermit the Frog in armor there. Yeah, so I realized that he was wearing Sigward's armor when I first saw him, but, I mean, this is Dark Souls 3, not Dark Souls 1. I had no idea that he was going to be in this game, so it was quite surprising. I didn't know if this guy was going to attack me or what. So it's interesting to see a fresh face right there. Now, do not do what I just did. Don't be stupid and do that. That was a bad idea. I saw that and I was like, oh wait, I can get off at this point. And I missed it by too much. You can actually, you want to come back to this area shortly after. You don't want to do this right now. But since we are here, we are going to have to do this nonetheless. That's right. That giant fire demon, you gotta fight it. And at this point, you got nowhere else to go. There's no way back once you get off at that point. Luckily, you won't have to face him alone, though.
You should have waited.
Do make sure, though, that Sigurd does not get killed.
Too late now. I, Sigurd of the Knights of Katarina, fight by your side. Ah!
How I lived right there, I don't even know. I am one lucky bastard.
That was quite a performance. But you mustn't get in over your head. We Unkindled must put our duties first. But, for the moment, we've a toast to make. To your valor, my sword, and our victory together. Long may the sun shine. Well, the only thing to do, really.
Alright, here we are back at the elevator. Because, like I said, you did not want to do that section first. Once you get on the elevator, like I'm about to do, you want to stay on it until you hit the top. Do that next part after you do this part. So now the first thing I want to do when I see something big like that that's already tried to kill me once is I want to kill it. And now that I'm seeing it up close, it is a giant. Giants typically try to kill you in this game. However, something I was not aware of at this time. Had I listened to Sigurd, I could have went up here and actually talked to this guy. Which nets you something, I'm not sure why. But killing him gets me what I want anyway, which is the Hawk Ring. Hawk Ring is great if you are playing a bow character like me. It lets you shoot your arrows further, and they do more damage from further away. Very, very handy to have. I've never taken it off since I've started getting it. Now here I am back at the bottom again. Taking these guys out. Now the next part of this is what we were going to do here, and this is also something I should have done before trying to head over that way, is we are going to go down here, and we are going to clear out these tunnels, and we're going to open us up a shortcut. Pay no attention to my half-assed fashion shows there. Never rush into anything in Dark Souls. This is a lesson that I have slowly come to terms with. This game is not like any other game. Everything can and will kill you. It's a lot like Australia. Maybe I should call those imps drop bears. But yeah. Alright, you can't open this door. Not yet, anyway. You can get a key to do it later, though. Get that from the Shrine Head Maiden. Now, if you are watching, you can kind of see that there is something right past this fog. It's very, very hard to see it. But if you piss it off, you will definitely see it. Killing that nets you the Blood Bite ring. I like to explore, so that's why I went down that way. But there's nothing down there. Now what we're going to do, we're going to unlock this door, and we are going to be right back here where we fought that NPC invader. Alright, now, once again, back where we fought that, that fire demon at with Sigurd here. We're going to start exploring this area. This is why I said you probably should not do this first thing and go up and kill the giant at the top, or talk to the giant at the top, whichever you decide to do. You should do that first. Then come back and do this. If you're playing as a character, like a melee character, and not as any kind of ranged character, at least try to have some kind of ranged weapon there too, so you can get these. I don't know of any other way to get these things right here without that, and that is the Northern set, which looks kind of like this, which is much better than what I did have on. Now she looks like a Highlander. She's a wee Scottish gal, she is. We're gonna explore this area pretty good here. Couldn't figure out why he wasn't dropping. Turns out I was actually not even hitting him. Some kind of glitched in the game right there. There we go. Alright, now this is kind of a tough area, or at least I kind of thought it was. You're going to have a lot of these things, the corpse cages. You're also going to have some dogs, and you're going to have some priests that you're going to have to deal with as well. So be ready for that. If you pay attention to the cages, you can kind of see which ones are actually the ones that will attack you and which ones are just part of the actual scenery. If you watch them for a few minutes, you can see they do look a little different. They're colored slightly different than what the other ones are, but if you watch them long enough, they do breathe. You can see them slightly move. I still really hadn't figured out how to tell if the mimics or not. What I do now is I always like to fire an arrow into the chest just to see if it's actually a mimic or not. Mimics in Dark Souls 3 are more dangerous than they have ever been in the other two games. And yeah, if you didn't see, this is also a trap here, so be careful for that. Now, one of these priests alone is hard enough, so now you're going to have to fight two of them. Try to stay out of the range. Like I said earlier in this video, these are pretty fast. I didn't have too hard of a time this time around with them, but like I said, I tried to keep my distance from them because if they get close enough, they start swinging that giant scepter of theirs, then they can do some damage. They can really lay into you on that. Flynn's Ring. Flynn's Ring is also really, really handy to have if you're playing an archer. In the early game, it can be really handy to have as long as your equipment load isn't over a certain percentage. Basically, the less you have on, the more damage you do. Right there, you can jump down right there and take that direction down. I wasn't sure about it though, so I think what I end up doing is just homeward boning out of here. And that's going to do it for this video though. I will see you guys in episode 7 next week, or possibly in the next few days. It does take me a while to do these videos because what I like to do is the voiceovers. I don't even know if you guys like the voiceovers or not. So you tell me. In the comments below, do you prefer me talking like during the video, or would you rather just have the video? Because I kind of think it's probably better just to do the voiceovers and just kind of talk a little bit instead of just having the footage. But you guys tell me. So until later, I will see you guys in the next video. Hey everyone, if you'd like to help support me and my channel, I have a Patreon page where you can do just that. You can pledge anything from $1 or more. Anyone who pledges $15 or more gets a unique, specially designed roller coaster and Planet Coaster made just for them. My little way of saying thanks. You can also just send donations as well if you don't want to join Patreon. And you can find those links in the video description below. Every tiny red cent I make from these means the world to me and is extremely helpful. If you're interested in my PC setup that I work with and play on that you see here, every piece of the system is described below with links to Amazon if you want to purchase them or anything else. Thanks for tuning in to my videos and my channel. If you aren't already a subscriber, click that on the screen below. And you can also check out a few of my other videos on the screen here as well. You can keep up to date on what's going on in my own little world via Twitter or watch me stream live on Twitch as well. Links are in the video description below. So wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.